Okay, ji. So welcome everyone. So today what we are doing is we are studying some mathematical or statistical tools that are regularly used in explaining macroeconomic relationships. When we are saying relationship, it means one or two phenomena or data sets or variables are relating to each other. Now we need to present it in a way that we can explain that how they are related. So the tools that are used to explain relationships are being discussed here. So the first common method that is used is called function. Okay, so we'll describe that. So in economics, variables are used to indicate economic phenomenon. Economic phenomenon is something happening and you are trying to measure it. Mean like number of flights crossing, number of air miles. It's a phenomenon that how many planes are in the sky. Okay, so there is something happening, and if you measure it, okay, then that phenomenon will become a variable. Okay, and the idea behind that is you have already studied in microeconomics that it is called positive analogy or positivism. You studied positive logic and in normative logic in microeconomics. So positive logic is that everything that you can see you can measure, and everything that is measured is true, and you give an actual number to it. Like you can measure your temperature using thermometer. You have an exact number. You can measure a speed using a speedometer, and that will give you exact number, not a range. You can measure your weight, height. You can measure distance. So everything that can be measured to the exact number comes under positivism or positive analogy, okay, or positive economics. This term you studied in microeconomics. And other side is normative. Normative is that things that are not measured, that can have different meanings in different contexts. That is mostly in English, in verbatim, in text, not in numbers. It talks about the ideal situation, not actual situation. Okay, so assuming that we are in the realm of quantitative methods or quantitative side of economics, which is positive economics, where we can measure everything that exists. यानी हम यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं कि macro economics में क्योंकि government level पे आ गए, they have the oversight power, they can observe and measure everything. So we will, in this course, we will be using all the things which are measurable. So इस course का context measurable side here. Okay. So and the measurable things are phenomena, something that are happening, and we'll measure it and we'll convert it into variables. Measuring tools, I gave you few examples: speedometer, thermometer, okay, measuring tape, weight machine, okay, count number of planes in the sky, count. Such a simplest is the count one. Okay, so so in economics, variables are used to indicate the phenomenon, and the connection between them is called relationship. How they relate to each other. Okay, so let us give an example of consumption and our income. So we can describe these two behaviors, two phenomena in two ways. First is called function. Function is like to engine. We don't know what's happening inside, but engine, when you give some input, it gives you some output. Just like a calculator. We don't know what it is, what's inside the calculator, but when we press 2 plus 2, it gives us 4. So there's something inside that is doing some calculations, and same thing is that it's saying that the function is a method used when we know that both variables are related, but we don't know its magnitude, how they are related, what's the degree of their relationship. Okay, so it is written as consumption, which is denoted as C, and a function of income that's denoted I. So C is function of income. So it's saying that there's a box, there's a machine inside. When you feed the value of income, it gives you a value of consumption. And we don't know currently कि कितनी income है कितनी consumption की value मिलेगी. But we currently know that this box has only one function. That's why it's called function. It has only one function, that if you give the value of income, it gives you value of consumption. Clear हो point? Function का मतलब समझ आया? It's named function and it has only one function. That if you give input, it will give output. And we call it function because we don't know that for 1 unit of income, how many output it is giving. So we are just saying that there is a function, but it is not measured yet. In a calculator, it is already measured. That if you press 2 plus 2, it will give you 4. Because it's already measured, it's a calculator. But sometimes we start with an abstract idea that if you give people income, they will buy. How much they will buy? It depends upon many other things. Okay? And that will be known when you open the function and read what's happening inside. Okay? Just if you start a car, you press the accelerator, it will run. And when you run it, use it regularly, you know how much to press to make it run 100 miles an hour or 100 kilometer per hour. तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कितना प्रेस करना है, कितनी स्पीड अटेन करने के लिए. But at the start, when you don't know how to drive, you only know this is, if you press this, it will run. If you press this, it will stop or slow down. Okay? So function का मतलब है the box is not open yet, but we know that if you have one input, it will have one output. It can have more than one input, but there is only one output. Clear हो गया? Function समझ आ गया? Okay. So function describes the quality and presence of relationship, not that how much they are, but the degree of their relationship. Okay. So if we can say that the customer service in an aeroplane will increase the customer retention or customer loyalty. So customer loyalty is a function of customer service, but we don't know how much customer service should be there to increase the customer loyalty. The exact number is not measured yet, but literature or the common sense or the past experience tells us that if you give good service, they will come back. Clear? Anyone have a question for function?
So what does it mean quality here?
Quality means that it is there. Quality means that we acknowledge the presence, but we don't know how much it is. So quality is there means the presence is observed. Qualitatively it is there, but what is the quantity we don't know. Okay. For example, we can say that currently there is democratic government. So qualitatively they are democracy, but we don't know how good democracy it is. It's not measured as in my example, but we can measure it. Qualitative here it means that we can use our senses to feel it. Senses plus logic, or senses plus calculation and logic. Okay, so it's a quality means observation or acknowledgement that it is there. Okay, let's move to next point. Next is method is called equation. You have already studied mathematics. What is an equation? Equation is a quantified function. Then it tells you that when you put input and what process is applied on it and how it is converted to output. And when you comparing the function in equation, the process is also there. Otherwise, they are same. So conversion, how they are converting, the process of conversion. So the equation method is used when we know that variables are related and also its magnitude, or also the conversion formula. I will explain with the example. Okay, so such as in the example, if we increase our income, we will increase our consumption by 70 rupees if our income is increased by 100 rupees. So in the example below, if you put the value of I 100 multiplied by 0.7 is 70. So now you are actually quantifying the relationship. In the function, you didn't know that if there is 100 income, how much consumption will be. But in the equation, you will have that liberty to measure the exact number, so that you can respond appropriately. ठीक है? तो अगर पॉलिसी मेकर को पता चल जाए कि जी ये होने लगा है, because you can predict the future from it, that लोगों की इनकम बढ़ गई है तो कंजम्पशन बढ़ने लगी है, so you will act accordingly and produce more, or act accordingly and increase the price. It depends upon what's the strategy of the company. Okay, so this describes the quantity of the relationship. In the previous case, we acknowledged the presence of something. Now we are acknowledging the strength of that thing, how strong it is, or the conversion rate. यदि आप $1 देंगे तो 170 रुपए मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो you know the conversion rate. ठीक है, so it is written as consumption multiplied by the conversion. In standard we write slope and in income. ठीक है, so it is converted the function as c is equal to 0.7 into I. Certainly this is not a perfect equation. I have written the simplest possible so that they give you an idea. So यहाँ पे the function is the consumption is related to income. And how do you know? Because the equal to sign is in between. So function is there. Function is there because it works on equality only. If it is not equal to sign, greater than less than, we call it what we call it? It is not a we call it inequalities, or the what's the other name for that? So let me remember the Bible form. So for a function there should be a equality sign. Okay. So and we know it's a function because two variables have equal to sign in between, and we know the process is multiplication, and it's a scaled down process because the number that is multiplied is less than 1. So answer input से छोटा आएगा. सही? So if the number is more than 1, it will be scale 1, magnifying more than 1. So if it was 1.2, 100 rupees income will create 120 consumption. So it's a magnifying, scale up. If less than 1, it's scale down. Okay, so it's just an extra thing, but the function that the conversion that is used here is multiplication, simple multiplication. It can be anything: addition, subtraction, multiplication, natural log, power, square root, under root, sine, cos, trigonometry, anything. It can be anything, but in simple case, it's multiplication. Anyone who is not clear here? Yes. So magnitude is 0.7. So it tells us that for each unit of input, the output is 70% or 0.7 portion of that input. Or in other words, it's scaling down the input. Okay. So now we know the conversion rate.
So there has been a stand between slope and input. So it would be simply a function.
No. If 0.7 is not there, it is 1.
Yes.
So it's still an equation. If you remove the function sign and just write f is equal to c is equal to I, it's still an equation. F is used to acknowledge that we don't know the conversion. If you remove that, it will assume that it is 1 multiplied by I. The conversion is the equality. Okay, so function is there to acknowledge. So what's happening here is now because of equation we can plan, or we can adopt or respond. So if as a consumer I want to increase my consumption, I have to increase my income. And function is also telling the same thing, but here if I want to increase my consumption by 17 P's, I need to increase my income by 100 P's. Clear? So now you can plan or predict. Plan means that you're trying to change the situation. And predict means you are guessing what is going to happen so that you can adopt it. For example, from the function you found out that in COVID incomes are going to fall, so my consumption will fall. So I have to plan to survive in lower level of consumption. So he will respond by adopting to low levels of consumption or start saving today. Clear? So equation has that added advantage that you can use it to now decision make. Function will only tell you that there's something happening and there's a need to do more exploration. Clear? Okay. Let's move to the next point. Next is graphs. Okay, before we go to next slide, I will show you here. So the idea of graph started from the concept of number line. You already studied in mathematics. So number line is a scale where you put a dot and zero is in between, and you say how far the dot is from the zero. So if you draw a number line here, like it's a scale and zero is here, and you have a number that is 5, you cross place a dot here that this number is. So actually, what number line is giving us is telling us the incidence of that number, where it is, if with respect to the zero or with respect to any other number, if there are two dots. So number line idea was used to measure the distance of that value from any reference value, zero or any other dot, if there are two dots. Okay, so without the idea of number line, you will not be able to measure how good or bad the thing is. With mathematics, when you have a number, you can measure how good or bad you are. Like for the case of the GPA, since you know that there is a number line back at the back end of the GPA from 0 to 4, you can assess how good or bad your marks are. It means logically there is a number line in your head, which is installed in your head that the GPA is in between 0 and 4. So you can, if you have a GPA 3.5, then you can compare with somebody else who has a 3.4. You can say how near or far we are. If you don't know the number line, for example, if you don't know what is the highest possible GPA, it can be infinity maybe. So you cannot tell if 3.4 and 3.5 are near or far from each other. But if you don't know what is the minimum GPA, maybe it can be -10 or -4, then still you don't know. So number line, when it exists in most cases, 99% cases. So if there exists a number line, what can you do is you can measure its incidence, how good or bad it is. Okay, there are other cases where there is no number line, like the barakah given by Allah Ta'ala, nemat that is given by Allah Ta'ala. He said, कौन-कौन से नेमतों को जितलाओगे? गिन लो, साथ शैतान मिला लो, जिसको मिला लो, गिन लो, ठीक है? तुम लिखना शुरू हो गए समुद्र की झाग को भी इंक बना लोगे, तो फिर भी खत्म नहीं होगी नेम. So there literally saying there is no number line. So there is no need to bother trying to measure. Just say Shukr Allah Ta'ala. Okay, so but in other cases there are number lines. Clear? So idea of number line led to development of graphs. So what they did is that we have one number line which has a 0 here, and what they did is they convert the other number line and made it like this and place a 0 here. So when we have two number lines, they are not parallel, they are perpendicular. So let me change it here. So it's perpendicular to each other, means at a 90-degree angle. It means now you can compare two different qualities of a same number, or you can compare coincidence of two data sets. Coincidence means you are saying that income and consumption. So income is like 100 and consumption is like 70. You can place a dot here. Now it is actually comparing the coincidence of two behaviors, two phenomena. And this is for one country, and then suppose there is another country where say there is same income but their consumption is 60. So I will put a star there. So now it's comparable now because it is incidence of two things. So assuming one is same, for simplicity I assume one is same, but in real life that commonality is not very easily observed. So now you can say that two countries, one's conversion rate is higher, other is lower. What can be the reason? Now you can look for the reasons. What can be the possible reason? Well, they have the income, so it means they are earning from somewhere. There is jobs. What is the other reason? Why the consumption is different?
So there were restrictions of the population.
Now it's inflation. If there is higher inflation, they will buy less, or they are more better saver. They like to save more. Okay, so if there means the difference can be because of inflation, that the country which are buying less, maybe there is more inflation. चीजें कम महंगी है, और they are saver, को save करते हैं. They know that saving is important. ठीक है, clear हुआ? So advantage of graph is that now you can study the coincidence of two data sets. And since we cannot only make a two axis graph, we cannot plot a third axis. And luckily the whiteboards are not three-dimensional. That's why we limit our graphs to two axes only. If you plot it in any software, you can go on the third axis. But unluckily, you cannot go beyond third to fourth axis or fifth axis or sixth axis. Okay. So for simplicity, we stay within two properties so that we can study their coincidence. And now there can be two types of graphs. One is a scatter plot where there are only dots. Okay. So if there are too many dots, we try to stay within scatter plot because there will be too many lines. When when the dots are following some pattern and there are few, then we join them to create a line. So line plots are used when the all present dots are following some similar pattern. They can be connected with a straight or slightly bended line. But if there are too many dots, then if you join the line, it is not understandable. So when there are too many dots, we try to stay within scatter plot. And if there are fewer dots and they are following a pattern, we try to join them. There is another way that we can use the fit plot. That there's a dots and we use the estimated line passing through it. That's advanced concept. That's why I have not written here because it's not included in this topic. Okay. Anyone have a question here? What's the history of a graph? The idea is it is studying the coincidence. That how these two individually they are talking about their distance from zero. But now when they are two together, they are telling something new. They are also telling the relationship, the story behind it. If you study them individually, there is no story behind it. Because it's just one number which is away from zero. But it is not telling why, how. Okay, but here we might have a reason because we keep the dependent variable on y-axis and independent variable on x-axis. So now, since same income has different consumption, okay, so now we can study why consumptions are different for same income. So it led us to do research, led us to do exploration, led us to find relationships. So similarly in the aviation industry, same facilities, some customers are happy, some are not. So you will need to explore what is the reason behind it. Maybe the person who is happy is going alone. So there is no need to give him high quality services. He is happy going on, but other might be going with family. There are toddlers with them. You have to give more services, more value to them, so that they are more satisfied. So this way you can find the differences within commonalities. Understand? Commonality is what? Yeah, you are giving them same facility. So Qatar Airlines have installed same quality of seat for all of them, same service. They are giving them, the flight is giving them same service throughout. There's no variation in what kind of noise that they are getting in individual seats. So plane same service there. So similarly, the air hostess, the air staff, they all are same. The food is same. So why some are happy and some are not happy? It is differences within commonalities. Okay, and this led us to do research and find the value added features. That what you do with them? इसका क्या solution करेंगे? You find out that some are happy and some are not. किस तरह? एयरलाइन इंडस्ट्री में क्या डिफरेंस क्रिएट हुआ? क्या एग्जांपल आपको याद है? Anyone? Yes, they create classes. Some might be rich. They have bigger attitudes or bigger expectations for their value of money. So what do you make it? You make a business class. Still, within economy class, there are differences within commonalities. What do you do then? It can be because of the size of people who are going to travel. If they have children in Emirates, they give a toy. I don't know what about other companies, but Emirates gives a toy to children so that the children stays calm and the family is satisfied. Or in other airplanes, they give food to children with families first. ताकि उनको खिला दें. सही है? समझ आई बात? So ग्राफ का क्या फायदा होगा? Differences among commonalities. अगर ये नहीं बनाएंगे, you will only know that this customer is more happy, this customer is less happy. You don't know why. You don't know the starting point. Maybe जो more happy है is because कि उसको टिकट सस्ता मिल गया हो. ठीक है? और maybe जो more happy है इसलिए होगा कि उसको window side seat मिली होगी. So we don't know the exact source. In this case, in the example that I gave, I fixed the quality of service so that I can compare. I can fix some other thing like the position of the seat. Two people sitting on the both window side, one is happy, one is not. Differences among commonalities. Clear? So you can, because it's only two-dimensional graph, you can fix only one thing and study the other. But in computer sciences, you can fix more than one now. On paper, graph में हम एक time एक कर सकते हैं, but in reality, in new advanced analysis methods, you can do more than one. So आप कर सकते हैं. You can fix the age, gender, position of the seat, income of the person, class of the place where he is sitting, then see why they are different. When you are fixing them, it means the reason might be some else which is not fixed. Clear? So अगली रिसर्च क्या होगी? You fix that new thing. कि हमने business class में उठा लिया. So still he is not happy. It means the problem is somewhere else. ठीक है? So you rule out the way, you rule out the possible reasons, and eventually converge to a reason which is the source. ठीक हो गया? So graphs are the starting point, but the three-dimensional, four-dimensional graphs will lead to more information. Anyone else who have a question here? Understood? So in this course, I will show the graphs and we'll discuss. In this course, we will be more focusing on the graphs. So you need to understand why they are made. We are now going to do the comparison. Yes. So I will show you the next class. Okay. So if you place a dot on the graph, it has some distance from 0 in terms of x-axis and some distance from 0 in terms of y-axis. So this dot has some coincidence that it is this much big as compared to x and this much big in terms of y. Coincidence, two incidences. But here coincidence doesn't mean इत्तेफाक. It is two incidences together. दो चीजें एक साथ हो गई. Two incidences together. I should have written joint incidents. ठीक है? So it's not coincidence, it's joint incidents. ठीक है? Write as joint. ठीक है? Clear हो गया? So coincidence does usually mean इत्तेफाक. यहाँ पे इत्तेफाक word भी ठीक है because we have not explored why. So it can be because of इत्तेफाक. इत्तेफाक से दोनों की नंबर इतने आ गए. Maybe if I place number of study hours here and GPA here, किसी एक स्टूडेंट के आवर्स ज्यादा है, GPA ज्यादा है, किसी एक के आवर्स ज्यादा है, GPA कम है, किसी एक के आवर्स कम है, GPA ज्यादा है, किसी के दोनों कम है. So they may be because of mere coincidence. ठीक है? तो पेपर ही इतना इजी हो, it doesn't matter पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा, या वो other sources यूज हो या it doesn't matter पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा. So graph can be mere coincidence, जो इत्तेफाक हो. There might not be any relationship. So graphs are there to confirm the relationship. कि क्या हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है? समझ आ गई बात? So the advantage is it will also confirm. Sometimes the dot will show that there is a coincidence, but it is not joint incidence. It's only coincidence. ठीक है? There are tools to do it. So next is the example of supply curve. Let's do okay. So here I have plotted the graph and the case that we are discussing. So each dot on the graph is joint incidence of two things which are on the graph, and we usually keep dependent event, dependent phenomena, dependent variable on y-axis here, and independent phenomena, independent variable on x-axis. So each dot is joint incidence of both. Means each dot is telling us that, for example, if I select this dot, this triangle, it is telling us how far it is from zero in terms of income, how high it is in terms of consumption from zero. So two incidences together. So it can be coincidence. Here is the fact है, लेकिन there is no story behind it, no relation behind it, no function behind it. Just like rainfall in USA and weather in Pakistan. Still, you can plot a graph, but it will be coincidence. They are not related to each other. There is no function. But it can be joint incidence, which is if it can be related to each other and justified with literature, with experience, with common sense. Okay? And these dots are actually events. Event. Anything that happened which has two properties, consumption and income. Okay, so these events can be of three types. Okay, it can be all dots are from same country but different times. Okay, so we are plotting the consumption and income of Pakistan from 1960. So it will be like 40 plus 20, 62 years, 61 years of data. So we have 61 dots. Okay, so if we have this, we call it time series data. It's a data which is actually has same country or same unit or same what you call it, same cross section, same object, but it is changing in time. Means that we have dots which are actually changing in cross time. So it's the third dimension which is not shown on the graph. So we are actually studying how these events are changing in cross time. Okay. Then second can be same time to many different countries. It can be like we are studying 100 countries for 2020. So it can be 100 dots, one for each country. So it is called cross-sectional data. means it is changing across cross section, across the object, but not the time. Time is fixed. And we have two dimensions that are not shown in the graph, that is time and country, or time and cross section. In the first case, cross section is not changing, time is changing. In the second case, time is not changing, cross section is changing. But in the third case, both are changing. Different countries, different time. We call it panel data. So we can plot graph, and the data source can be of any one of these three. It can be panel data, means it doesn't matter which country, which time it is, we plot all of them. We calculate the data for 10 years for 10 countries. So it's 100 dots. And each dot is telling a story, that it is telling a relationship between consumption and income for a particular country in a particular time. So the change in dots will have four dimensions, four things: change in consumption, change in income, change in country, change in time. But in the first case, there are only three dimensions: change in country, change in time, change in time, change in consumption, change in income. In the second case, there are three dimensions: change in country, change in income, change in consumption. So when you see a graph, the source can be any one of these three, and it depends upon what you are trying to study. Ideally, when you take the third one, there will be many dots. The more the dots, more patterns will evolve. So if you are actually exploring the patterns, third case is ideal. But if you are doing just presentation of facts, first or second are enough. Any one of them. ठीक हो गया? We don't have to find justification of which one to use because it's the scope of data analysis. So we just define them and we move forward. जब आप stats पढ़ेंगे, data analysis पढ़ेंगे, you will understand which one is used when. उनके अपने functions हैं, अपने properties. Okay. Let's move forward. Now we have an example of our supply curve. In this graph, we have two axes, this price and quantity. And we already know that if the price and quantity graph is positively sloped, it's a supply curve. We have studied it in microeconomics. In this case, what is happening is there are 5 dots. They are taken from the schedule, which is a table, and we plot them together. So what is happening is we are making a graph of two incidences. One is the price, another is how much they are willing to sell, supply. So we already know there is a function that the price will explain how much they will sell. Function does not tell us the direction, magnitude. It only tells that seller considers price as an important indicator. But when we make a graph, it gives us a hint what kind of equation it will have. Okay. So when we made a graph, it found out it's a positively sloped graph. You understand what is the meaning by positive slope? Positive slope means both incidences are increasing or decreasing together. When we are moving from the lowest dot to the highest dot, if we notice that both incidences are increasing, or when we are going from highest dot to a lowest dot, and we notice that both incidences are decreasing, it means they are concurrent, they are moving together. It means it's a positive slope graph. Clear हो गया? So positive slope की definition है, if they are moving together, then it's a positive slope. So it gives us another direction that the function has a positive relationship. More input, more output. Less input, less output. It's not opposite. Okay, more output, less input. More input, less output. ऐसे नहीं है. ठीक है? तो हमें यहाँ से पता चल गया supply curve में price and quantity has positive relationship. And this graph is giving us the value. Okay? In mathematics, most of the people have already studied how to make an equation out of a graph. Yes. Or we have already studied how to make a graph out of an equation. Both of things are taught. ठीक है, I will give you a hint here, but it's the scope of mathematics. ठीक है, clear हो गया? So graph can be of first type, that is positive slope. ठीक है, then there is a third type, second type, that is negative slope. When both incidences are opposite, if you are moving from a highest dot to a lowest dot, this is decreasing but this is increasing, they are inverse to each other, it means it's a negative slope graph. So it is confirming that the function is inverse. If the prices are higher, quantity demand is lower. So this graph is telling us the response is opposite. So inverse to each other. Okay. So this is the second type. Any question here? Okay. Let's move to next point, and let me see if I can. So next is, what are the components in a graph? Okay, so I need the animation. So we have first component is the two axes, two phenomena or two data sets with two number lines. One is y and x. So usually y is dependent variable and x is independent variable. Okay, so the easiest way to understand which one is dependent and which one is independent, you just create a story out of it. The independent thing will happen first, and the dependent will happen after, in all cases, so that you will understand. So consumption is happening when there is income. It cannot happen like this. If you will consume, then you will get income. Yes, but if sometimes if there is a story and you don't know which one to be placed on y-axis, you need to read the story in terms of the order of events. The x event will happen first, and that is the way you will identify that x is independent variable. Clear? So first of all, component x is, then there is some line. Okay, and line can be anywhere. So but there is a hypothetical starting point. That's why I added some dots here. For each line, there is a starting point. It can start from the line, or if it is not, then it has a hypothetical starting point. Why I call it a starting point? Because since the line is explained by the independent variable, so line will start when the independent variable is not zero. It will be 1 unit more than 0. So on this y-axis line, value of x-axis is 0. So when you move this, so line will start because it will give an input and there will be output. So the point where the line touches the y-axis is a point where x is equal to 0. It means it is the point from where the line will definitely start, because it's the lowest possible point of the independent variable, which is the initiator of the line. So when the initiator is 0, there is no line. Clear? So that's how you make a starting point. It is known as intercept. So intercept is a starting point of graph which shows the value of x is 0. So what will happen to the relationship if the independent variable is not there? Definitely y will not be there, or there is some value of y. It can be negative or positive. Clear हो गया? So intercept can be 0 if it is starting from the origin. इसके origin से start हो रहा है. It can be positive, just like this. It can be a negative. नीचे चला गया, x से नीचे चला गया. ठीक है? So it also gives us a story. For example, in the case of consumption and income, आपकी income 0 होगी तो will you do your consumption 0? No. आप मत जाएंगे. So it means when your income is 0, either you have to consume something to live. That in that case, you will either use your savings, or either steal, either do a crime, or sell something, or take a loan. So consumption is definitely related to income. Yes, we said it earlier, but it doesn't mean that when income is zero, we will stop consuming. Because consumption has some other determinants too, which are playing a role in defining the consumption. Okay? So if income is zero, x is zero, there is some consumption still left. That is known as intercept. And the reason behind it that we need some income to live, and we might have some income past time period left. Okay? It can be negative in other cases. ठीक हो गया? Clear हुआ यहाँ पे? For example, I give you another example. If you don't use electricity at your home, there will still be electricity bill. That's taxes. Okay? So there will still be a intercept value, even if you don't live in your home for 1 month. बिजली इस्तेमाल ही नहीं, there's still an electricity bill. कहाँ से आ रहा होगा? Maybe कोई आइटम आइडियल पड़ी है, वो बिजली थोड़ी-थोड़ी इस्तेमाल करे. Maybe आपने कुछ भी नहीं इस्तेमाल किया, लेकिन वो टैक्स लग के आएगा. ठीक है? So graph can start from zero. Origin means x is zero, y is zero. It can start from a positive number, meaning x is zero, y is some positive intercept. It can start from negative, means x is zero, y is negative. Okay? Y negative example you have already studied in the firm theory chapter in your microeconomics. That if firm investment is zero, the output is negative because some investment is required as a fixed cost. So after fixed cost, it will start to produce something. Okay, so we will do that example later on. Clear? So intercept is the starting point of line. It gives us a story that what else is happening around. It tells us what is the height of a line. Higher the value of A, higher the line will be. Height. Okay, so it means that other than income, there is something else that is there. More height means more things are there. Okay. Next देखते So next is the angle. Angle tells us how much y will increase if x increases by 1. We call it slope. So यहाँ पे देखें what has happened is I increased the x value by 1 unit and then I checked how much y has increased. Then I made a triangle over there. Okay, so triangle is this one. This increase in x and height increase in y. This triangle. So this triangle is giving me value of b. B is how much y has increased. Okay, how much y has increased for 1 unit increase in x. So it's called slope or gradient. In mathematics, we call it gradient. Okay, or yes. So second component is our slope. It tells us how much y will increase or decrease. If it's a negative slope, graph it will decrease. If x increase by 1 unit, ₹1 income बढ़ जाए तो consumption कितनी होगी? That is explained by the slope or angle of the graph. Bigger the angle, more consumption will increase. Smaller the angle, small consumption will increase. It means there is some stories there which is explaining the angle. More inflation, less you will buy, smaller the angle. Smaller angle means it is more like horizontal line. Higher angle means more like vertical line. Okay? This value will tell us how much x affects y. The conversion rate. ठीक है? जो हमने पहले बच्चा का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन या फॉर्मूला प्रोसेस जो पहले इक्वेशन में बात करें. ठीक है? So bigger the value, stronger the effect. Bigger the value, stronger the conversion rate. Clear हो गया? ठीक है? I will give you more examples here now. ठीक है? Now we are going towards the examples of the conversion rate. So equation is y is equal to a plus b into x. So when we have a line or a graph, we can create an equation. It has two components, a and b. So if we have the value of a, which is intercept, and if you have the value of b, which is the slope, you can just write it this way to calculate the equation. Okay? Y is equal to a plus b x. If there are only few dots, you can do it manually. But if there are thousands of dots, you need a computer to do this calculation. Okay? Next, understanding sensitivity of relationships means the slope. अब कुछ example बता रहे हैं क्योंकि we will be doing a lot of talk about this in related topic. क्योंकि हम graph theory में रहेंगे तो graph के angles will be telling a lot of things. ठीक है? So I am giving you some background brief or then we'll go into that. So we have a dependent variable and independent variable. So y is usually dependent variable and x is usually independent variable. Okay? If we know that they are, if it's not developed yet कि कौन सा dependent है, हम जो मर्जी रख सकते हैं. ठीक है? So suppose consumption is dependent and income is independent. हम वो story consistently चला रहे हैं. And there is a line, red line, and so I have plot a dotted line here. You can see this dotted line is a reference line. This line has one property, that it is increasing equally. It has a 45-degree angle. Dotted line का 45-degree angle है. इस लाइन की प्रॉपर्टी ये है कि इस पे जो भी डॉट लगाएंगे उसमें x और y की वैल्यू बराबर होगी. Because every time x increase, y will increase equally because the line is showing slope equal to 1. Yes. So if there is a 45-degree line, it has a slope equal to 1. Means 1 unit increase in x will lead to 1 unit increase in y. ठीक है? So ये center line है, reference line. इसको मैं identity भी बोलता हूँ. यदि increase in x is equal to increase in y. ये ऐसी लाइन है जो all lines को दो ग्रुप में तकसीम कर रही है. Equality. When slope is equal to 1, b is equal to 1. b is equal to 1 बनाने का तरीका क्या है? ऐसी लाइन लगाएं जिसमें 45 डिग्री एंगल होता है. सही? So I have plotted a line which is flat in term as compared to dotted line. How I call it flat? The definition of flat is that if the line resembles more like horizontal line, then it is flat. And if it resembles more like vertical line, it is steep. So when I compare the dotted line and the red line is more resembling the horizontal line. ठीक है? Red line की जो angle है वो horizontal line से ज़्यादा मिलता है as compared to the dotted line. Dotted line थोड़ा ज़्यादा steep है. So when I compared both of them, I found out that this is flat as compared to this line, or this line is steep as compared to this line. ठीक है? Flat और steep का मतलब समझ आ रहे हैं? So when the line is flat, the value of slope b is smaller than 1. When the line is flat as compared to the dotted line, it means the value of slope is smaller than 1. So conversion rate is shrinking. Conversion rate is that more x has smaller y. And ये नंबर इसकी जो स्लोप है वो 1 से छोटी है. 0.7 हो सकती है, 0.9 हो सकती है, 0.2 हो सकती है, कुछ भी हो सकती है. 0 से बड़ी है. 0 होगी तो it will be horizontal. Horizontal line. 0 से बड़ी है लेकिन 1 से छोटी है. So when a curve is flat, it means the relationship is not that sensitive. Means कि जितना x change होगा y उतना change नहीं होगा, उससे कम ही change होगा. मैं example अभी बताता हूँ. So we require a large effort to make small change in dependent variable. यानी when line is flat, ज़्यादा x change होगा, y थोड़ा change होगा. तो अगर हमने y को ज़्यादा change करवाना है, तो x को बहुत ज़्यादा change करना पड़ेगा. Why? Because their conversion rate is very small. It's less sensitive. ठीक है? One is the dotted line. अभी बताने लगा.
So what would we say? We would say X is more sensitive, less sensitive.
Y is sensitive, less sensitive to X. In this example, means you are letting two variables where the sensitivity is weak. Means if you want, in this case, if you want to improve the Y, you have to do a lot of big change in X. ठीक हो गया? In other words, if you have a managerial decision, you will prefer to solve the sensitive issues first, then the non-sensitive issues. Because non-sensitive cases take more effort, but there is small change. So पहले sensitive वाले solve करने हैं. मैं पूरी, when the diagram is complete, you will understand. ठीक है? So let me complete it, then I will do a discussion. So suppose the starting point is same, where the red line is crossing the dotted line, and if there is 1 unit increase in income, there is small unit increase in Y, but if we compare it with the dotted line, there is a more increase in Y. यानी अगर 1 वाला केस होता, then there is more increase in Y because it's more steep as compared to red. So if the line is flat, the output is smaller than the steep case. Yes, dotted line, yes. So dotted line is steeper as compared to the red line. So if there is 1 unit increase in income, there is more increase in consumption in the dotted line as compared to the red line. So yes, equal hoga, but I am just comparing them. So it is more than the red one. So it means flat line. In the flat line case, the output is smaller than the change in output is smaller than the change in input. How much small? It depends upon how small the slope is from 1. If it is 0.1, then it is very small. If it is 0.9, it's not that small. ठीक है?
So if the line is more steeper than.
वो अभी हम बताने लगा. I'm doing it correct.
सबसे पहले इसको independent
वो same है ना. So there's another case. If the line is steep, in the green case, what is happening here? So why it is steep? Because its angle is more than, it is more anti-clockwise or more vertical as compared to the dotted line. It's more vertical as compared to the dotted line. Clear? So what's happening is that its slope value is bigger than 1. Slope is bigger than 1. So it is magnifying the output. The input, the output is more than input. Okay? So I will draw the case here. So the curve is steep, which means relationship is sensitive. So it means a small change in independent variable will create a large change in dependent variable. As a company, if your dependent variable is customer loyalty, and your team has proposed you possible issues, possible reasons of change in loyalty, and you plot on the graph. So जो steep वाले you will try to solve them first, because they are changing loyalty faster than the others, and it requires less effort to control them. But when they are solved, then you go towards the flat cases. Okay, so for example, we draw this case. We found out small increase in income has a large increase in consumption, and it is larger than the dotted line case because its slope is more than 1. So that's why I made a dotted line. That in dotted line case, the slope is equal to 1. In this case, slope is greater than 1, and then the red case it was less than 1.
So less increase in the independent variable gives.
Yes. Yes. So it means when you are finding the relationships, if you notice that the slope is more than 1, it means the dependent variable is more sensitive to that independent variable. If the slope is less than 1, It means that independent variable is not sensitive to independent variable. So if you have more than one independent variable, you will arrange them according to their slope value. So you have to address the more than one slope value before the less than one slope values. For example, we make a case, ILM company hired experts to do a survey to find the determinants of customer loyalty in their business. Their dependent variable is customer loyalty, but they found out 4 possible issues. First is the differences in the income of the customer. You have more variety of customers coming. उन्होंने पहला रीजन दे दिया. Second is differences in the age of the customers. Young भी आ रहे हैं, old भी आ रहे हैं. Third, differences in the what do you call it? Class तो income में चला. Differences in the income of the customers. Class उसको बोलेंगे. Fourth, there differences in the purpose of transport. Some are for leisure, some are for business, some are just frequent flyers. So wo difference in the purpose of flight. So they give 4 major reasons, and they gave the slope values. They write the equation or make the graph. You found out that 2 of them has more than one slope, and other 2 have less than one slope. So what this graph is helping us? जिसकी स्लोप 1 से बड़ी है, इट मींस कि वो चीज सेंसिटिव है. इट मींस कि उसका वो वाला इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल थोड़ा सा भी चेंज होता है तो हमारा लॉयल्टी चेंज होती है. तो हमें उसको थोड़ा सा भी चेंज होने से रोकना है या मैनेज करना है. समथिंग वी कैन नॉट स्टॉप, लाइक वी नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्ट द कस्टमर इन टर्म्स ऑफ एज कि जी बड़े या छोटे ना आए. समथिंग वी कैन नॉट स्टॉप. ठीक है, वी कैन नॉट से दिस एयरलाइन इज ओनली फॉर एडल्ट्स, only for kids. We cannot do it. Okay, but since we found out that the loyalty is highly sensitive to age, क्या करना चाहिए? We cannot change it. We have to adopt our customer service accordingly. We have to look कि young लोग क्या expect करते हैं. We have to do another survey that what young people expect and what elders expect. So that our air staff, तो air staff भी बोलते हैं ना, air hostess वगैरह, steward and the staff should know that if there are both type of customers sitting, their services should be different for them, optimally designed for their expectations. ठीक है? So what will happen is they cannot restrict the age, but they can adopt accordingly. This is the solution. Similarly, if the second problem is income, they cannot restrict that only rich should come or only poor should come. What they can do is they can make compartments: economy class, high executive class, top executive class, या lower than economy class. कुर्सियां भी दरिया बिछा दें. ठीक है, they can do it. ठीक है, आपने तो जाना है तो अगर टिकट सस्ता हो जाए और आपको दरिया बिठा दे और वो टिकट less than half हो जाए तो you will happily sit on it. ठीक है, जिस तरह लोग बसों में खड़े होकर चले जाते हैं, so why don't they sit on the piece of mat and with half price spend? It depends upon the variation in the income. If there are few customers which are very low income, definitely they, if you give them lower quality with lower price, they will still come. Yes. ठीक है, and if they are very rich people, you give them ridiculous quality, they will still come with that double or triple E. ठीक हो गया? So इस तरह. So first of all, if there are 4 problems, they will try to solve the ones which are more elastic, more sensitive. In economics, we use the word elastic in elasticity. So you can also say elastic. So if they are more elastic or more sensitive, it should be sorted first. Should be sorted means either to reduce or increase the independent variable, or if you cannot control it, you have to adopt your practices accordingly, because it is creating a variation in customer satisfaction. If customer satisfaction is highly varying, what is the cost of that to a business? एज एन एयरलाइन इंडस्ट्री अगर आपके कस्टमर्स हैं आप उनसे सर्वे कर रहे हैं 1 to 5 स्केल में इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ लाइकली हाउ मच दे लाइक और हर किस्म का आंसर आ रहा है 1 2 3 4 5 what does it mean about the company is it a good thing or bad thing क्यों तो बुरे कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं बुरे हैं कुछ कह रहे हैं अच्छे हैं कुछ कह रहे हैं न्यूट्रल है they cannot plan accordingly they cannot have a consistent predictions they cannot plan any new offer or new service because they don't know which thing is working because there are every type of customers are there यानी तुक्का लग रहा है कुछ खुश हो गए कुछ so airline company will not work on tukkas there should be a strategy for it ना समझ आई ना बात so less the variation more consistency more professionalism will depict out of their practices they know which thing is working which is not working it's not like PIA lunch शुक्र है पहुंच गया ठीक है that's the thing about it और मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए ठीक है वैसे उनकी सर्विस अच्छी है नॉट आई एम सेइंग दे दोस्तों एयरलाइन जो भी खुली है हां तो कोई स्ट्रक्चर का या वो बकरा अच्छा वाला होना चाहिए जो कुर्बानी करे yeah so that's what I'm saying that if there is high variation they don't know which thing is working and if they don't know which thing is working it means some of the cost is useless and that cost can be reduced and the tickets can be reduced and more customers can come समझ आए ना बात और that cost can be reduced and used in the places where it is working to reduce the minimum and best quality service expectations और जो वेरिएशन है जो 1 से 5 में आ रही है वो 3 से 4 में आ रही है सही clear how strategies are defined here ठीक है in aviation industry I'm only talking in terms of graph अभी macroeconomics बीच में नहीं है ठीक है so and if the flat ones so suppose there is another case that the income कर लिया था age कर लिया था yes so I talk about weight of a customer every increase in kg takes more fuel so it's a cost ठीक है and there is a dilemma in it कि how we can manage European companies what they are doing is they are charging for the luggage weight so their tickets are low but no luggage allowed if you want to take luggage there is a price on it other companies what they are doing is they are limiting the baggage size or something strategies इस्तेमाल हो रही ठीक है so suppose they say that the weight of a customer or weight allowed to a customer is affecting customer service. This means customer service is a function of weight allowed or weight of a customer. Okay. So when they plot a graph, it is flat. Let's go back and let's see this case. It means that a large change in weight is creating a small change in satisfaction. And if that change is very small, you can ignore it, depending upon what is the threshold you want to keep. ठीक है? अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि ये change भी बहुत significant है, बहुत फर्क पड़ रहा है, means that number is nearing 0.99. Still big. But if the number is 0.1, it doesn't matter. You can ignore it. But if there is no steep problems left, and this one is the first flat problem whose slope is biggest, then क्या करें? ठीक है? आप इस केस में क्या करना पड़ेगा? इस केस में because conversion rate is very small, any policy that you will make will have a small change in the outcome. अगर आप weight limit लगा दें, just like Saudi Airlines है 30 kg per bag, और बैग एक ही allowed है. और कोई और कंपनी है 40 kg लावा है लेकिन only 20 kg per bag you can take 2 bags you do something like this but because it's flat the change in the customer loyalty or customer satisfaction is very small बहुत थोड़ा फर्क आएगा तो it depends is it still worthy worth it or not, तो otherwise वो ignore कर दे, ठीक है। तो इसका मतलब है ग्राफ हमें ये बताता है how to rank the policy decisions, कि कौन सी पॉलिसी पहले होनी चाहिए, समझ आ गया। और ग्राफ कैसे बने, मैंने एग्जांपल दे दिया, एनीवन यू कैन टेल हाउ द ग्राफ आर मेड। एयरलाइन कंपनी ने ग्राफ कैसे बनाया होगा, वेरिएबल्स कहां से आए, they did a survey, they fill a questionnaire from the customers in terms of how happy they are from the flight, and they measured other variables like their income, their age, their weight, their use of the service, their luggage weight, number of people going where from their flight origin and destination, okay, flight size, flight type, ठीक है, crew type, so they made many variables, ठीक है। कुछ को उन्होंने फिक्स कर दिया, लाइक क्रू टाइप, कौन कौन से लोग थे उसमें, कितने एक्सपीरियंस था उनका, फ्लाइट प्लेन साइज, कितना बड़ा प्लेन था, ठीक है, प्लेन एज, कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो प्लेन अभी फिलहाल चेंज नहीं कर सकते, तो फिक्स है, तो दे कैन कीप इट एज फिक्स्ड फैक्टर्स इन द सर्वे, सही है। क्लियर हुआ हाउ ग्राफ्स आर यूज्ड इन डेवलपिंग डिसीजंस, ठीक। So let's see what's next. So yeah. खत्म हो लगा. So we discussed that there are two graphs, and the graph which is vertical as compared to the dotted line will be called steep. And the graph which is more horizontalish as compared to the dotted line will be called flat. And the flat curves are less sensitive to in that case dependent is less sensitive to the independent, and in the independent variable we usually keep the problems for the starting initiators. So the graph will tell us to rank the policies accordingly. Okay, so now we go to a conclusion. So we discussed it earlier. Let's come. So it's a background of microeconomics. So the point that we want to discuss here is that the qualitative relationships are assessed using functions where we have not measured the quantities yet. Okay? For example, how much sawab will get from righteous deeds. नेक काम करने से कितना सवाब मिलेगा? We cannot measure it, so it's still in functions. ठीक है? The number of darajat in Jannah is function of नेक deeds, but we don't know how many नेक deeds are required to increase one daraja, because we don't have any measuring tool. Okay, only measuring tool is niyat, and we cannot measure niyat, so it's still in the function form. But उसको quality क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Because it is observable and it is said by Allah. It is a fact, but that fact is not measurable. We don't have the tools available yet. Okay, we might have a tool available when everyone is settled in Jannah and Dozakh. So we'll measure कि किसने कितने काम किए थे, क्या ग्राफ है, ठीक है। When it is realized, ठीक है, that graphs are useful to explain functions and equations, ठीक है। So graph can also be made for a function if we know the direction. If I say the darajats are positive function of नेक अमाल, it means it's a positive slope graph. We can make a graph, but we cannot calculate the slope or intercept. It will be a hypothetical positive slope graph. But if we have a quantitative function or quantitative relationship, we will be able to measure the numbers. We will make a table. From that table, we can measure intercept and slope, and we can calculate equation. So graphs are faster tool when the data is big. Okay? If you have observations like in millions, so if you make a table, it will take ages to read that. Okay? So in that case, graphs are better. In one of my research, I used the data which had 8 crore observations. 8 crore observations. So if I show them to a manager that these are 8 crore customers and their customer satisfaction and their age, just let us see what is the relationship. He will say it will take me ages to find patterns in 8 crore cases. But if I draw them on a graph, it is observable in 1 second that they are positively related or negatively related, and if it is positive, it is sensitive or not sensitive. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so only one small point left, that I have explained the graph and the reference point for a positive slope. What is the reference point for negative slope graph? If we are studying a negative slope graph, how you will define its it's steep or flat? Its dotted line will be isosceles triangle. So let me show example here. In this case, the dotted line will be somewhere here, like this. It will be making a 45-degree angle here. So let me make it black. Yes. So if it is a negative slope line, okay, and you are explaining the steepness and flatness of a graph, so the reference line will not be 45 this, it will be 45 from here. So if there is any graph, let me make a steep and a flat. So if there is a graph which is like this, and I will call it name is red, and if there is any other graph, insert another line which is like this, and it is green. Okay, so red one is flat, negative slope line, because it is more flatter as compared to the dotted line. It's more horizontalish, so its slope is less than. Its slope is between 0 and -1. So this dotted line slope is -1. This line is between 0 and -1. This line is more than -1, maybe minus infinity and -1. Okay? So अगर आपका policy variable negatively affect कर रहा है, then your decision graph will be negatively sloped. Now you have to pick those graphs which are highly sensitive, the green ones, because their small change is creating high difference. समझ आई बात? यहाँ से नजर आ रहा है ना? So if I let me zoom it in and let's close it later on. So if I show it here, let me simplify it a little bit like this. Show it here. Suppose there is this is the reference point where all of them are equal. Okay, I will make it black. All of them are equal. Suppose there is one unit increase in this variable which is negatively affecting y variable. So if I draw it here, 1 unit increase. It is crossing 3 lines: green one, dotted one, red one. Now tell me where there is most decrease in y. In green one, red one, or dotted one? Green one. सबसे ज़्यादा कम आओ. So because it was more sensitive, so a same increase in x has higher decrease in y in the green line. So इसका मतलब है जो green line है, it should be sorted first because there is more deviation in customer satisfaction if that thing increase. ठीक है? उधर जो sensitive था, उधर ये sensitive इतना शुरू. Yes, in both cases, steep ones are more sensitive. In positive slope case, in the sensitive case, we need to increase the x because it is benefiting us more. In case of negative slope, in more sensitive, we need to decrease the x because it is hurting us more. Clear हो गया? हाँ, y दोनों केस में y sensitive है ना? नहीं y सेंसिटिव नहीं, हम y की सेंसिटिव बात करेंगे क्योंकि x डिपेंडेंट नहीं है। अगर x डिपेंडेंट होता तो then you are right. ठीक है, समझ आया? तो in the case of sensitive cases, in the positive slope example, you need to increase the x variable so that you can increase the y more. You need to prefer that. In the negative slope case of highly sensitive examples, you need to decrease the x so to stop decrease in y. ठीक है, clear हो गया? So this was the examples that we studied. So in the next class you have to come with the you have to read the handout